Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy I for the Nintendo Entertainment System played on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode we had just got the Oxyale from the ferry in the spring. We rescued her from the caravan where she was sold after she was kidnapped by an evil pirate. So now that we have the Oxyale in hand, we can use this submarine over here. Warriors, you have Oxyale. There are mermaids wait. Please help them. So we hop on here in the submarine and we are taken to the sea shrine. We end up actually in the middle of the sea shrine. We can head down further and into the sea shrine, and that'll take us to where Kraken, the Fiend of Water, is. Or we can head up to where the mermaids are. We're gonna head up to where the mermaids are because they have a bunch of good treasure. And they have a plot important item. I'll talk about it when we get there, but to the left is the stairway down toward Kraken. I'm just gonna go grab there's a treasure chest over here. And to the right is up to where the mermaids are. So the mermaids, of course, they're the ones who need our help the most, so we should probably visit them first. Anyway, besides the rewards that we get, the treasure and the plot advancing item. So Naga here, as you can see, they use Lit 2, so you may want to throw up a Lit spell with your White Mage, if you have it. But luckily, the trip to the Mermaids isn't that long. It's actually longer to go down and visit Kraken. So it's easier to go see the mermaids, so we won't be spending too much time here in the Sea Shrine. Another good thing is, once we get to the mermaid floor, there are no random encounters on the mermaid's floor. So that's pretty good. Anytime we don't have to worry about random encounters, that's good. Speaking of random encounters, most of the enemies here are going to be weak to lightning because they're sea-based. So that Zeus's Gauntlet is going to be very useful. It's also another reason why we want to get that plot advancing item, because with that plot advancing item, it'll give us access to the Mirage Tower. And in the Mirage Tower, we can get the Thor's Hammer, which will allow Fibbs to use Lightning 2 as well. Makes sense, Thor being the Norse god of thunder, his hammer should cast thunderbolts, so. Too bad there ain't no weapons or anything that cast level 3 spells, but I guess that would be a little bit too broken. I mean, the level 2 spells that our items and armor and weapons have been casting have been good enough for the most part, so. Alright. These ghosts, they can be pretty tough because they have a really high attack power, so. Luckily, another good thing that we'll be getting in this Sea Shrine here is we'll be getting a weapon from Milo that'll allow him to cast Fire 2 when the weapon is used as an item. So that'll help against not only enemies that are weak against fire, but also against the undead, who are weak against fire and harm. So we'll also end up on the way to Kraken. There's a light axe, one of the 2 light axes that casts harm 2 when used in battle. So Fibbs will get one, and Milo will get the other. They'll be getting most of the items that cast spells, seeing as they have the weakest attack out of our 4 light warriors. So, let's head up here, go to some more rooms, get some treasure. What do we got here? An opal armor. Good armor if you have a knight type character. They're the only ones who can use that armor. So, here's the water elementals. One of the interesting things about water elementals is they're not weak against lightning. They are weak against ice. I guess you're freezing them with the cold. So yeah, it's pretty neat. You'd figure that they, like I said, like most other water creatures, they'd be weak against lightning, but nope, their weakness is ice. Eventually we will get another item that casts ice too, so, but that's not until much later in the game. So, well, actually it's not too much later, so it's later if you go much later if you go in the intended order that you're supposed to be doing. But after we get the mermaids, see the mermaids and get that plot advancing item, we're gonna go a little bit out of sequence. So rather than finish off the sea shrine, we'll be heading over to the Mirage Tower and making a quick jump into the Sky Castle, where the Mirage Tower leads to, and where the Fiend of Air is located. So these two final fiends, the Fiend of Air and the Fiend of Water here, they're both pretty tough. So anything that we can do to make life a little bit easier for our characters, to take them out, we're going to take advantage of that. So that's one of the reasons why we're going a little bit out of order. We'll be doing a little bit of a short venture into the Mirage Tower and the Sky Castle to get some items that'll make life easier for taking on these final two fiends. So, kept this battle in because we're gonna get another level up here. So, levels are looking pretty good. For the most part, you should be around level 30, low 30-ish when you go to beat the game. So, we're in a really good position right now. Let's head on down here to the bottom here. Only a few more rooms left here on this floor before we head up and see the mermaids. We got our first light axe. I was just mentioning that item. It casts harm 2 when used in battle, so that'll be good for when we fight big groups of undead, like the ghosts. So luckily no trap tiles there. I've been wandering around the treasure chests just to see if there's any trap tiles to show them off. So, and we got the mage staff. That is that other staff that I was just talking about. That is a weapon that Milo can equip. So we'll finally give him a weapon to equip. But of course he won't be attacking much. He'll still be using the items for damage. So the mage staff casts fire 2 when used in battle. So he'll be using that, and we can transfer down the Zeus's Gauntlet to Fibbs. So now both Fibbs and Milo will be able to use level 2 spells during battle. Endless level 2 spells during battle. So, and then of course Fibbs can also use harm 2 endlessly if we run into undead monsters. So, alrighty. One more room here to go into. What do we got here? A bunch of money. There'll be a lot of money as well on the mermaid's floor. So, sadly we don't have anything to spend it on. So here we are on the mermaid's floor, no random encounters. You have responded to me. No problemo. All the mermaids are basically just hiding out in these rooms. What do we got here? An opal bracelet. That's the best bracelet in the game. We'll end up giving that to Wimbley. So, you might think, well, let's give it to Marty instead, because he's in the front row, but Marty has a bunch of other defensive items that make up for that, so Marty, at the end, Marty will end up having one less defensive power than Wimbley. Of course, once you hit level 42 would be the threshold. If we cannot regain the power of water, then we will become bubbles, then disappear, will be the level when we take all armor off of Wimbley. My friend Darrow went to the land, then never returned. I often wonder what happened. Maybe she grew legs and walked away. So I guess that's kind of inferring that maybe that lady was like, oh, look, I have legs, might have been Darrow. Unbelievable, you can breathe underwater. So, but yeah, just for the rest of the game, Wimbley will end up having that opal bracelet. I'll end up eventually getting characters to max level. Please save the sea and make the orb shine again. Well, that's what we're here for. I suppose you are the legendary heroes? Rats? Both. So, But yeah, I'll do a bonus episode where I max out levels. Are we going to become bubbles? Not if we can help it. Don't worry, we'll take on the Kraken. Release the Kraken. From, that old, trying to think of the name now. Clash of the Titans. They actually remade that movie. I just saw the remade movie about a month or two ago on, As Long as the Fiend of Water Lives, woohoo! Probably more like 2 months ago on, Tubi. So, Opal Shield, it's a good shield for, once again, Knight exclusive armor. We'll get good use of that when I replay this game with Knight class. Pure Potion, nothing special. To unlock the Mirage Tower, the Lefein use the musical tone. We can't speak Lefein, however, we will get an item here that will allow us to speak Lefein. This is the shrine's top floor. The Fiend of Water, Kraken, lives on the bottom floor. We'll take him out later. But, the plot-relevant item that will allow us to speak Lefein is the slab, and that's in the upper right corner. But we can't, reach that slab, we have to go kind of a roundabout way. We have to go left to go right. So for some reason, I guess it's magic, the sea shrine wraps around itself just like how the world map does. So we just head over this way, and we end up on the right side of the screen, even though we traveled left. We get this room that was cut off by water. Can't hold anymore, so gotta drop some armor. But most of the armor that we're gonna drop is just, you know, we're not hurting for gold anyway. Like I said, there's nothing we can buy. An opal helmet. Yeah, another piece of armor we gotta drop. So it doesn't really matter, I guess, what we drop. Probably everything's probably much the same. The helmet, the bracelet. Well, let's see. Yeah, we could drop a cap too, something cheap, because we'll eventually get a ribbon, which is another good piece of headgear. But here's the plot item, the plot advancement item, the slab. And it has, if we look at the description, it basically says it's a bunch of weird symbols. That slab we can take back to Dr. Unne in Melmond, and that'll allow him to teach us the language of the Lefein people. So, yeah, it's like the Rosetta Stone in this game's world. Surprisingly, Lefein must be very easy to learn because our characters here learn it basically just in like one afternoon, one teaching session. Learning languages in real life is much harder. So, well, maybe all our characters have babblefish. That's a thing from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's like a fish they put in your ear, and it allows you to basically understand all languages. 2 new enemies here, the Big Eye and the Gray Shark. Since we take out the Big Eye first, we'll put his stats up there. So, and then follow it up with the Gray Shark stats here in a little bit. There we go. Much tougher than the normal shark we ran into, but that's to be expected. The regular shark we ran into was way back in the beginning of the game. We first got our ship, so. But we can still run into groups of gray sharks with sharks down in this sea shrine. So pretty good experience here. I know I mentioned hunting agamas later on for experience, for grinding purposes. That streamer Gyre that I mentioned a few times, he does his leveling a lot on, there's a trap tile later on, the Sea Shrine, toward the bottom floor. He calls it the Sea Shrine Pile of Pain. It can have up to 9, it can have up to, let's see, 8 enemies. It has, can have sea trolls, lobsters, and sea snakes. And they usually come in really large groups. And some pretty good experience there. Sea Shrine, Pile of Pain. So, well, we'll finished our first little jaunt into the Sea Shrine. So, let's head down to Melmond. Let's make use of that slab that we got. And we can learn the Lefein language. So, just walking in the random encounters, I realized, are a little bit easier on the land than in the water. Because in the water, we can run into Ochos and Neochos that can poison you. And even though they're not hard, poison is kind of annoying because you gotta heal it, and it messes up your party order. So, there's the Oath Cave. So we're near Melmond. Let's head on back to Melmond. Thankfully, this will be our last trip to Melmond. Nobody likes Melmond. Look at it. It's terrible. They don't have a clinic. They don't have an item shop. But they do have Dr. Unne, a slab. So this slab will lead us to solve the riddle of the Lefein. Now listen to me. Warriors revive the power of the orbs. Well, thank you. So, yep. Now we can head over to Lefein. And I remember earlier all the people there basically said, Lupa? Well, now they'll be saying different things, so... We'll have to pick up another pro ring there for, Wimbley. Totally forgot to buy another one of them. But look at all the money that we'll be getting here from selling this stuff, so... We'll have more than enough to afford a pro ring. As you can see, the pro ring costs 20,000. We have more than enough money to buy that, even without the whatchamacallit, selling all this stuff. So, money never going to be a problem for the rest of the game. So, I said mainly all we have to buy is no, I guess if we class change, we'd have to spend some more money on spells and stuff, but we're not class changing, so all the spells that all characters can use, we got. So, it's a matter of maintaining that 99 heal potions. Remember, if you're buying heal potions, you probably want to buy them from towns in the south, because they have the heal potions at the top of the item list. So, well, I guess I wasn't thinking. There are 2 more spells we want to buy here. Not that we're going to use them. But they're just, to fill out inventory, I guess. It's the slow spells. We'll have one of them for Marty and for, Milo. It just makes our spell list, look a little bit nicer and cleaner. So, yep, see, that we're on that 1 spell level with, Marty, where there's only 1, and Milo has his first few levels, 2 spells each. Yep. The pain of obsessive compulsiveness makes you do weird things that you wouldn't normally have to do, but for some reason they make me feel good to see that stuff kind of organized. Would have been easier to make the like cure spells be on the left, so when I cast cure, be the first spells, but that wouldn't have kept things even Steven. So that's another reason why I have the cure spells the 3rd spell, so that Marty's black magic spells can match Milo's black magic spells, their position, and the same with his white magic spells can match the position of Fibbs' white magic spells, so... Yes, another strange thing. But one less thing that is going to be strange is the Lefein language, thanks to Dr. Unne and his amazing tutoring skills. We are the Lefein, only our bravest became Sky Warriors. Your airship was theirs. We still got dirty faces? Well, the rats need a bath. At the time of destruction, a legend was born. In 400 years, warriors with herbs will appear to save our people. Are you? Yes, we are the Light Warriors. Ah, the Light Warriors. The legend is true. Yes, we are the Light Warriors, and we have restored 2 of the 4 orbs. 400 years ago, we had advanced civilization. Our interest was the universe. Until 400 years ago, we controlled the power of the wind. This enabled us to suspend the castle in the air. That's the castle that we'll get to through the Mirage Tower. The floating castle floats high in the sky, seemingly amongst the stars. We have passed on the legend from generation to generation, but 400 years have caused our memories to fade. Fade, the best white magic spell? I wonder if the robots made by our ancestors are still moving. Well, best offensive white magic spell. It was, it's known in later games as Holy, but Nintendo's policy on censorship of religious terms had them change it from Holy to Fade. The floating castle, our ancestors lived there. The Mirage Tower is the entrance. In Final Fantasy VI, it's known as Pearl. So, our last 5 warriors left to find the cause of the world's decay. We know they live, but as bats. We'll eventually find them and talk with them. We fought with Tiamat, but were unsuccessful. The Fiend now inhabits the floating castle. We knew that the great power controlled the Fiends. Our 5 bravest warriors left, never to return. That's not fair. They get 5 warriors. We only get 4. The power of wind was taken by Tiamat. With the chime, you can enter the Mirage Tower. All right. That is the item that we will use to finally be able to enter the Mirage Tower. When we tried to earlier, we couldn't. It just was like a blocked off. So, but now with the chime, you can automatically enter that tower, and that is where we will be entering before we head back to the Sea Shrine. Because, like I said, there's a lot of good items in the Mirage Tower, and the Mirage Tower is pretty small. It's only 3 floors. And the 3rd floor is just basically 2 rooms, the outer room and then an inner room that teleports up to the floating castle. We'll also make a quick dive into the floating castle because there's a few good treasures on the 1st and 2nd floor that will help us out when we finally do decide to head down and confront Kraken, the Fiend of Water. But let's go buy that final Pro Ring there that we need for Wimbley. Pro Rings prevent that rub spell from taking effect, and a lot of enemies are using that spell, so. We also end up getting another ribbon in the Sky Castle when we go there, so. Let's flip around here. Let's equip that Pro Ring. There we go. And real quickly, we can we'll give the cap to Milo. It's slightly give him a slightly little bit more defense. Milo has less hit points than Fibbs, so that might help him out a little bit. So save our game here, heal up, and we'll be ready to go on to the Mirage Tower in our next episode. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.